Sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Still a very quiet satellite and radar this morning. It's actually going to remain this way throughout the good chunk of our Tuesday. However, do notice that we do have some cloud cover developing to our northwest. That's slowly going to be moving in throughout the second half of the day today. We're at 51 degrees in Lansing, 50 for our current temperature in Charlotte. You're still fairly warm up in St. John's, holding on into the mid 50s, and we're in the upper 40s in places like Jackson and Hastings. So a wide variety of temperatures that we have across the region this morning. Again, we balance out the cooler temperatures we have right now with a lot of sunshine. Overall, we're still going to be below average across the area today, only making it into the low 70s. Good news is we have a nice but short-lived warm up on the way for tomorrow. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News This Morning.
Tensions erupt in California with clashes intensifying between protesters and police as ICE raids spark outrage around the country. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Today is June 10th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Vaselli. 6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. The Pentagon has announced plans to send 700 Marines and thousands of additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles, which has prompted other cities and states to take to the streets. There's also a growing war of words between California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and President Donald Trump as the protests continue into their 5th day. Naomi Ruckham is here for you with the latest.
The Pentagon is mobilizing 700 Marines and 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles as anti-ICE protests stretch into a 5th day. This as the Los Angeles police chief says he's confident his department and partners can handle the growing demonstrations, with dozens of arrests made so far.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
Protests have also spread to other parts of California.
The people in our federal government who are making decisions to put troops on the streets and to round up members of our community need to see that we're not with them.
As well as states around the country like Florida and Texas. In Austin, tear gas was used to disperse crowds. Meanwhile, escalating tensions in LA have stoked a political clash between California Governor Gavin Newsom and the Trump administration. President Donald Trump's border czar Tom Homan has threatened the arrest of anyone who obstructs federal authorities, including Newsom, prompting this reaction from the president.
Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing.
Newsom, in an interview, called on the White House to arrest him and, quote, just get it over with. The state has sued over the deployment of federal troops, calling it an unprecedented power grab. The White House says it's necessary to protect federal property. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has removed every member of a scientific committee that advises the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on how to use vaccines. Now he's pledging to replace all 17 members with his own picks. The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices had been in a state of flux since RFK Jr. took over. Recently, he took the unusual step of changing COVID-19 vaccine recommendations without first consulting the panel. Secretary Kennedy says the committee members had too many conflicts of interest, but major physicians and public health groups are criticizing the move. From the nation's capital to the state capitol, Republican lawmakers will introduce new legislation today to prohibit what they call vaccination discrimination. The authors of these House bills, which they call the Vaccine Freedom Legislation, will hold a press conference today with the organization Michigan for Vaccine Choice. They say these bills would protect people from unfair treatment based on their health choices. The state already allows vaccination exemptions for several reasons, but the organization claims state and federal agencies, including the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the CDC, are ignoring parents' rights to exempt their kids from getting vaccines. However, MDHHS warns that lower vaccination rates leave kids vulnerable to vaccine-preventable diseases. They'll introduce this legislation this afternoon at the state capitol. The College Reconnect program will return to Lansing Community College, offering students an introduction to the college experience and support to enhance reading, writing, and math skills. The free 4-week program starts on July 18th and will offer both morning and evening sessions. Eligibility for the program is based on the following criteria: students who graduated from high school between 2023 and 2025, those who recently completed their GED, and Michigan Reconnect students who will be new to LCC this fall who have not already completed college-level math or English courses. You can learn more about the program by heading to our website, WLNS.com.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Yesterday evening, we had a very strong cold front make its way through mid-Michigan. As it rolled through, it gave us a couple of showers and severe thunderstorms across mid-Michigan. So no surprise with those severe storms that we did see some pretty impressive wind gusts. In fact, we were close to 50 miles per hour for our peak wind speed yesterday in Coldwater, 47 in Jackson. We maxed out at 32 miles per hour for our Monday in the city of Lansing. There's that cold front and its associated activity racing off to the east. We have not only dry but mostly clear conditions across mid-Michigan this morning, not only thanks to that cold front, but also we have a lovely high pressure system setting up to our south and southwest. That is going to help to keep us dry and sunny, not only as we go throughout the rest of the day today, but also we have a lot of sunshine in the forecast for our Wednesday. Temperature-wise, you might want to consider that light jacket this morning. We're falling down into the mid to upper 40s or mid to upper 50s, excuse me, across most of the area. We're in the upper 40s in places like Jackson and over in the city of Hastings. Holding on to these cooler conditions as we go throughout the rest of the day. In fact, our high temperatures are actually going to be topping out right around 7 degrees below average for this time of year, only making it up to 71. The good news is that sunshine that we have in the forecast tomorrow also comes along with a lovely high temperature of 83 degrees.
Beautiful. We love it, Kendall. Yes. Thank you.